I started on TikTok. Funnily enough, my first account ever got banned permanently after like 3 months of posting, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. Originally, it was Codells, and then I just, because that name was banned for life, I shortened it to Codells.
Why did you get banned? Or you still don't know?
No, I know.
Are we on? Yeah, kid. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Smells Like Happy with Handsome. I'm Charles Weinraub, a.k.a. the Handsome Homebuyer, formerly of Captain Permit, but we still love Captain Permit. 516-513-8838 for all your permit needs. And obviously, this podcast is sponsored by Greg's got his mouth filled with water, so it's on you.
Cardinal Financial.
Yeah, Sal Rizzola from Cardinal Financial. We know him. We love him. If you don't know him, you should know him. You will love him. You don't own a house yet, right?
Not yet, unfortunately.
All right. You don't really
Give
want
me
to.
a few years.
You don't really. I still don't own a house either.
I have an apartment, but that it's like a build on
So
to my
do I.
house.
I have an apartment too. Apartments are good, especially if you live with your parents, because A, you're Italian. I'm 50% Sicilian. Did you know that?
Really?
My mother's 100% Sicilian, so that obviously means that she did my laundry up until like a year ago. Does your mom still do your laundry?
No comment.
Yes, she does. Right? And she cooked for me up until like a year ago. I would go over there. She'd have my meals prepared for me, like all that shit.
It's the best.
Does your mother still cook for you?
Oh, that's the best. Sundays, pasta fagioli, that's it. It's like I eat so much I just sleep for 6 hours after. Then I wake up and I have the cold leftovers. Cold leftovers are pretty good.
Fucking best. Cold leftovers are the best. But we're going to bring it back and then reel it in. If you're going to buy a house, you got to know Sal Rizzola. If you're a real estate agent, you need Sal Rizzola checking on all your deals. If you're a real estate investor, trust and believe you need Sal Rizzola screening all your deals like he screens mine. This way you don't end up 3 months down the line under contract and you find out that the buyer isn't qualified to buy a ham sandwich. All right, so we're into the podcast. So today's guest, we've known each other for, it feels like a long time, even though I haven't seen you for a long time, but when did we meet? How many years ago?
It was either 2019 or 2020, right? It was before the whole...
Was it pre-COVID?
Yeah.
When did COVID hit? 19?
2020. March 2020?
So we know so I've known you for about 4 years. Haven't seen you in a while. Amazing success that you have, and I love watching it. Crack up all the time. And you have a nice name, by the way. Marco D'Alessandro. Right?
Very Italian.
But you're
very
only
Irish.
But you're only 80% Italian, we just found out.
Yeah, I'm a fraud. I mean, we might as well cut this now. I don't want them to find out. 89% Italian.
So for everybody out,
just missed the A.
For everybody out there, give them like the 60-second kind of high-level overview of who you are, what you do, and then we'll go into it.
All right. So I'm a content creator. I started on TikTok. Funnily enough, my first account ever got banned permanently after like 3 months of posting, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. Came back because I had so much content stored up. I was just like, all right, I'll start a new account. Originally, it was Codells, and then I just, because that name was banned for life, I shortened it to Codells.
Why did you get banned? Or you still don't know?
No, I know. I shouldn't have posted it. I posted a video of my friend smoking weed and then going into Walmart dressed as a clown. Apparently, TikTok doesn't like that.
Okay.
So at first, it was really just a hobby. I would just post like funny stuff I got over the years, and then I ran out, and I was like, what do I do now? And I just utilized everyone around me, really. I just would make videos with them. Over time, it sort of evolved into like all my family and friends taking part in it. It expanded to Instagram. Now I'm doing YouTube, which is different. That's like long form content, but that's like where the passion is. Just generating as much entertainment and content as I can while pushing the boundaries of myself and I guess seeing what I could get away with.
So for any people that don't follow you, it's at Codells, right?
Yeah.
Codells on TikTok. And on Instagram, there's an underscore in there, right?
Yeah, it's co_Dells. Like I said before, like dead account's taking it. Hopefully by the end of this year, that'll be fixed.
So the first interesting thing about you for me is that anybody who watches your content, like I watch your content all the time, like every day for like the last year I've watched it. I think that shit's hilarious.
Oh,
like
really?
You and your family. Yeah, all the time.
Cool.
So But when you're on TikTok, you're like a different person. Like right here, you're just like super calm, super mellow. But when you do these skits, you're like this larger than life character. You're really like an actor.
Yeah, in a way, it sort of is. Like, I mean, I wouldn't call myself like De Niro or anything, but the more you get into it, it feels weird when you're first doing it, but then you watch it back on camera and you're like, this is so much better than I thought. Like it translates to film so well when you're just outrageous.
And a lot of it, like the cool thing is very relatable. So it's your friends, your family, but for me, it's really like the family. It's like you, your brother, and your parents are hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I remember it kind of like starting more so with your mother. Like I almost feel like my memory of it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is I almost feel like you're almost playing like jokes on your mother, and then it just kind of morphed, and your dad came in, and then your brother's in there, and then it just snowballed.
That is kind of how it went because my dad works for a living, so he's like, he really was never home, and then it would just be me, my mom, and my brother. My brother would have the camera. We'd like play pranks on my mom. My sisters never wanted to be a part of it till recently because they're like, oh, like put me in a video. I want to gain followers, which is it's hilarious now that they want to jump on the bandwagon. But over time, it became like my parents, and then like my family, then my friends, and now it's gotten to a place where because of I guess the coordination and how many people are involved, we have so much opportunity and options for future projects, ideas. The hardest part at first was coming up with ideas, but then you just branch out with the ideas over time. It's like, oh, we did something like this. What if we did it like this? And it just keeps rolling.
So I think I want people to kind of understand a little bit of the journey real quick. So you and I met 4 years ago. You were interning. You had no content creation experience whatsoever.
No, not really.
Started editing. Phil, just like somebody put a computer in front of you and they're like, here's what editing software was it?
It was Final Cut.
Final Cut, like just do it. And then here you are 4 years later. So I'm kind of curious, how it morphed. You just, TikTok, the platform, obviously, you got on it early. It really started to hit like 3 or 4 years ago and then took off. So kind of explain a little bit the progression of you not knowing anything about video to doing what you're doing now.
I definitely got lucky in the aspect I got on it at the right time because now it's just so saturated. There's more competition than ever. Not to say that it's impossible to grow because it's definitely not. It's just because there are so many people trying to do the same thing, you really have to stand out.
Yeah.
And I guess to go from no experience at all to, I guess, what I am now, it was just so much failure over and over, really. Like, I loved editing the YouTube clips. Even though I didn't start on YouTube, I started on TikTok. I would really just edit them on my phone, kind of just put them, whatever, it's like Video Shop, InShot. There's like these apps on your phone that you could edit. And at first, you don't really know what it is that you want to do, and so you're kind of like testing the waters in every niche. And I did not want to be stuck in a niche. Like, to me, that idea of just doing one thing over and over, because that's what everyone says, like, oh, if you want to grow, you got to just do one thing and you become that guy. I wanted to do a bunch of things, and so like I would see what works, kind of what doesn't work. And really, even though, like, I guess you could say it is a niche, it is like family skits, friend skits, just overall like comedy. We have such range now because of the foundation it started from.
I like when your mother's friends hit on you.
Me too.
Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones. Those are the Oh man, I love that stuff.
I don't think she's gonna see this, so I could say it. She hasn't been in the videos for a while. I don't know if there's like beef between her and my mom or something. I don't know.
Her blonde friend that's always in the videos.
Yeah. Monique, I guess. Or,
yes.
That is part of the progression. Like, over time, like, everyone would see like it's working and they're like, oh, I want to get involved. And at first I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, like my mom's friend like wants to be in my video. Like, what is this going to be like? And really, like, the shoots are so fun. Like, that was a really big hurdle at first because no one knew, like, how to coordinate it. We just were a bunch of people, like, in a room, like, all right, how do we do this? But I would say over time, we got a method down where we keep it where it's fun and we're also getting the footage we need.
So, how does it all come together? Meaning, like, who does the shooting? Like, do you have a team of people that shoot for you, that edit for you at this point? Are you doing it all on your own?
I do it all on my own for the most part. My brother will film like half the time. We'll just take turns. I just use a small stabilizer.
Wow. So it's really using your phone or an actual camera?
No, I'll just use my phone, really.
So you use everything you put out is filmed with your phone, and then you edit it on the phone in the app?
It depends what effects I'm going for. For the most part, yes. Like, I'll just put it on TikTok. I will go online to a downloader to get rid of the watermark because I want to use that same footage elsewhere. And if you post it somewhere with a watermark, it's shot.
Yeah.
Like, they won't show it to anyone. That's what I do for the most part. For YouTube, I still use Final Cut because I don't use fancy edits. I sort of just, like, my most recent video was me crossing the road dressed as a snail, and my friend was the crossing guard, and we were, like, stopping traffic. It's honestly amazing that didn't get taken down. But we also got on News 12 because my dad dressed as Santa and was just, like, being rude to people who wouldn't donate to us. And I couldn't believe it. We've been working with Long Island Cares for years. I feel like you remember Brian Karp had that contest.
Yeah.
I won that contest. I donated all the money to them. And ever since then, we've done little projects with them. And we were like, all right, we'll dress as Santa and we'll raise money for you guys. And they're like, oh, cool. Like, here's a tablecloth. Here's, like, all the equipment you would need. We told them, we were like, we're going to, like, make a funny video, like, with him dressed as Santa. We'll be elves. Like, we're going to get content that'll be for us, which was my dad insulting people dressed as Santa. And then we were like, all right, and we'll get content for you, which is, like, us being nice to kids, giving them whatever. And they let it go for 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, they got one email, I guess, complaining. And they're like, we're going to sue you if you don't take it down. And I was like, you could have just asked, like, to take it down, Like, you didn't. We probably would have at first. And, I mean, now we're not. but, like, I don't want to.
I had Danielle Gale do the same thing to me. Danielle Gale, the brokerage, called me up and threatened to sue me, yeah.
Really? Why?
I had one of their agents who I love in a video, and Greg made this, like, cartoon scene where she's, like, shooting a gun, and they're like, that's violent, it's not good for a brand, we're gonna sue you. I was like, fuck you.
Oh my God, why is it immediate 0 to 100 sue? Like, I'm sure, like, if they said, like, could we, like, at least talk about it, you would have heard it out. Whether it's a yes or a no, it's not the right approach.
Yeah, but you threatened to sue me. I'm just like, all right, now we're gonna leave it forever.
Yeah,
now it's out of the world forever.
Exactly.
Go after yourself.
I don't want to verse, like, a charity or anything because I wanted to raise money for them. But then they also 6 hours later, it's on News 12 because they're like, we're going to take whatever action necessary.
But that's a great thing.
I thought it was a great thing, except they plugged it wrong. They called it Sassy Santa instead of Saucy Santa. I was like, damn.
Fuck.
I know.
So I want to talk about, like, how much work goes into these things because I don't think people truly understand how much, like, planning, how you come up with the concepts, how much videoing, how much editing. Like, there are people on TikTok that'll create a 60-second video that takes them literally an entire day.
Yeah, it's true. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. People are like, oh yeah, you're famous and all you do is post yourself, like, something that took 2 minutes and it's not even funny, whatever they want to say. It takes so much planning, execution, editing, even for, like, a small video. Even, like, just for example, a 1 minute video to get completely ready to send out, it could be like very least 2 hours of dedicated effort. And that's selling it extremely short. Yeah. And a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, like, I wouldn't do that because it's, like, selling out or it's stupid or whatever. Like, I feel like part of everyone wants to, like, write it off because they don't want to acknowledge that it works, I guess. Some people kind of make it seem like, oh, it's not a 9 to 5, like it's not a real job or whatever. But like we were talking about before, people are making like millions of dollars doing this.
Millions and millions of dollars. It's just, you know what, I think it's general just kind of hate and jealousy with certain people, and then certain people also it's just laziness. And then like you were saying before, you have to fail a tremendous amount of times.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm sure you made, 500 videos that got fucking three views before it blew up. And the crazy
Yeah.
part about TikTok is like, you could get a video with like 20 million views, and then the next video has like 6.
Yeah, I
And
don't
you're
know
like,
about that. I don't know.
It's the same fucking thing. But I mean, you are consistent. You've been consistent. People obviously like what you're doing. They appreciate the humor. It's also very, very relatable. Like what being from Long Island, like I am, right, and having an Italian family, half Italian anyway. I relate to a lot of the shit that you joke about.
That's like it. The jokes really write themselves. A lot of time we'll be at dinner and like something will happen. Someone's like, write that down. Like put that in your notes. That's how we think of ideas some of the time.
Like, how has it impacted your family? Like, has it brought you guys closer together? Is it like a bonding thing? Because it seems like you guys like really are close and get along, and it's a nice thing.
We're definitely really close. Even before all of this, like I like to think that my nuclear family, it's like that's what I have. Like my extended family, maybe not so much, but and then once we started this, it really did bring us all closer together. Me and my brother and my dad will go for like 4-hour car drives, and we'll think of ideas on these drives. Like we'll do it like once every 2 weeks, and by the end of the car ride, we'll have 200 ideas, and then out of the 200, we pick like, all right, what are the best 20, and then we'll do those. Because like not every idea is a winner, but it definitely brings us closer together. It gives us more reason to hang out because we have a shared interest.
So obviously, like you were saying before, being a content creator is like a legitimate profession.
Now it is, yeah.
It's a legitimate profession. So, what social media is a thing that we constantly talk about because obviously social media works. And I talk about it a lot in real estate because I think it's a way that you build your brand, and you have agents that are afraid or agents that are older and they don't see the value in it. They don't think it really works or whatever because they made one video one time or they don't want to be on camera.
That's exactly it, yeah.
What advice do you have for people who are looking to, do what you do, like the process of getting there?
That's a good question because I wish I knew everything I knew now in the beginning. I mean, I didn't quit even though I would take breaks now and then. An example I would give is like my brother started in August and he has grown at probably like 10 times the rate that I did in the beginning because I had all of these like failures in my head, like knowing what not to do or like what to do. I guess really one piece of really good advice I would give is before you've even posted anything, stockpile like 20 videos because consistency is the most important thing. And if you just post one thing and you're like, all right, how many likes or views is it going to get? And it doesn't do good, 95% of people are going to quit.
How often are you posting? Because that's also like another big thing.
That is huge. I would say that's probably the most important thing or one of like top 3. I like to think I post every day, but I really don't. I would say like 4 or 5 days a week is enough. It's definitely enough for growth.
What do you say to the people that say you have to post 2, 3, 4 times a day?
You don't have to do that. That might be too much because if your work doesn't sacrifice quality, then do that. I can't do that. I can't get that much good quality content out in a day. By like the 3rd video, I would be drained or like it would just be an idea thrown together. Maybe some people are capable of it, but I really just post at noon every day. That's what I do.
You said what, a new one every day or noon every day?
Noon usually.
Oh, at noon.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess my final question is, obviously you're getting a lot of attention. You're going from the short form to the long form. You're very young, right? You're 25 years old. You're getting your degree of communications from St. John's and creating content for them as a job, which is very cool. So where are you taking this? Where do you see this going?
I mean, the dream is to grow the YouTube and be able to do any idea that I would want to. That would be fun, and it would be also considered work, I guess. I think that even though I love doing the short form content, which brings my family closer together, it's basically allows me to be like a comedy writer, and that's part of my dream too. The long form content gives you so much variety to what you could do. I want to do all of it. It's just one day I want to be able to delegate some of the work, because then it'll be able to grow exponentially. As for now, where I would see it going in like 5 years, I don't know. I have goals in my mind, but I don't know about like a change in lifestyle. I definitely want to travel the world like with a camera and be able to do it on the go, because that is on my bucket list, I would say.
Nice. Well, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming down. If people are interested in following you, how do they find you? How do they reach out to you if they want to collaborate? Obviously, that's a big thing. How do they find you on all the platforms?
It's Codells on everything, Codells, except on Instagram, it's co_dells, because of an account with 4 followers that hasn't posted.
Which you're obviously very,
2016.
very, very saucy about.
I'm a little bit salty about it. And on YouTube, it's Codells, but we're going to change the name eventually, because I want it to be not just me. I want it to be like a group thing.
Nice. Handsome home buyer, Cat P, Sal Rizzolo, houses, we buy them, 516-777 sold. Wait, 777 sold. That's a wrap.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you.
You too. That was awesome. I'll come on anytime.